consumer spending shot higher than pre-pandemic levels in 2021 as the boom in online shopping continued, according to figures. Barclaycard said consumer credit card spending rose by 5.9% in 2021 compared with 2019, despite the closure of shops, hospitality and leisure firms for big parts of the year.
Well, to give us the retail lowdown on what we can expect in 2022 is retail expert Jeremy Baker. Good morning to you, Jeremy, and Happy New Year. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi there. I've got to start by disagreeing with your last two speakers quite considerably. Even the great Simon Calder, I think, is wrong by focusing on the industry. The government's job is not to support the industry. The government's job is to help us live with the virus, whatever new variants coming along. So 2022 will be the key word in 2022 will be resilience. We don't know what will happen. The government doesn't know what will happen. Chris Whitty doesn't know. And it might, in the next week, things might be terrific. You've got to see that opportunity. 2 weeks later, cut back, new variant, we don't know. Things will be closed down, back to the home, back to looking after your dog, back to kind of running in the home, exercising in the home. So the consumer in the forthcoming year must be very resilient, ready to kind of jump in any direction, depending on what's happening. And the government can't be blamed for the virus. It can't be blamed for the variant. It can't be blamed for the confusing message coming from South Africa. That's just impossible. So I think the hospitality industry is lacking in resilience, is lacking in initiative. If I go to a restaurant, I'd love to know, I insist on knowing, that the staff have had the 3 boosts. There's no way. I know that the kitchen is clean because there's a sign, 5 out of 5 stars, clean kitchen. There's nothing to say how the virus has affected the kitchen staff. There's absolutely nothing to say what's happened to the other guests. And that is the passport.
Sorry,
virus passport.
Jeremy, if I could just pick you up on that point. So when you go to eat somewhere, do you actually ask to be served by someone who's had 3 jabs?
I don't, unfortunately, and I'm too shy and all that. And so the result is I don't often go. I only go when it's a big historic event which we planned weeks ago. So the hospitality industry is turning away an awful lot of people who are sensible. They're quite happy to eat out. They got the money to eat out. Hospitality is ignoring that demand there. And the quicker they accept this logic of resilience, of change, of jumping in whatever direction the variant is taking us, the quicker they adapt to that, the better.
They would say, obviously, the hospitality industry would say they do adapt to it. You know, they're offering, when they're told to, they do table service, social distancing, the hand sanitizer, masks on, etc., and that they've been struggling financially. So they would push back on you on that.
No, I see it the other way around. They're suffering financially because they haven't adapted to the virus. And the key thing is, in other countries, the virus passport. And if you look at, say, retail, they kind of sailing on. Sales are up in many areas of retail because they've adapted to the changing consumer. For example, the consumer can't go out of the home and go on holiday in 2021. Therefore, they're spending money on the home. Furniture, dogs, pets, DIY, these are all boom areas of retail. Retail couldn't get enough people to help with that. The building industry couldn't get enough plumbers and builders to work on the contracts that were coming in from people wanting to do up their home. And so that's what I mean. If you adapt, everything is going to be great. If you don't adapt, you moan to the government, things will be awful, carry on being awful. Consumer won't like it. The government, let's be frank, the government has got a terrible job with the variants, what's happening. It's got a terrible job with the debt that we're in now, that we paid out during the 2 years recently. So don't ask the government for money. They really haven't got any. It's asking the government for money is like saying, can we have money now? taxpayer will have to pay it back in a few years' time. So Britain is loaded with debt. Just think of that. Every time you ask the government for money, just remember you're talking to somebody who is loaded with debt, and the debt's getting worse. So my message to the...
Jeremy, sorry to interrupt there. I just wanted to pick you up on that point. I mean, you're talking about, needing to adapt. And we're speaking about these new figures out today. Barclaycard said consumer credit card spending rose by 5.9% in 2021 compared with 2019. These are people that are booming in online shopping, people that have never shopped online before. That's people adapting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But some restaurants, for example, adapt by having food that can be taken to your home. So I see that as it's sad about the restaurant going down. It's good news about the online food delivery going up. That's the way we've got to be. And so in 2022, you've got to adapt almost week by week, both on the industry side and on the consumer side. You don't know what's going to happen, but there's a lot of opportunity out there somewhere. That's the difficulty. You don't know where it is, but your job as a consumer or as a industry person is to jump as and when necessary. And the people who are moaning, who are asking the government for money, they really are very unrealistic, and they're very lacking in adaptability and resilience. And resilience is a key word for 2022.
You've hammered it home. You've hammered it home for us, Jeremy. Adapt and be resilient and survive and stop asking the government for money. We're going to have to leave it there. Really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.